Yay!
Bro, what you know? Suddenly I'm electrocuted.
We're ready? No, that's good. Alright, hello everyone. My name is JJ, and this is my TED Talk.
Yeah.
Woo!
This is me. My name is JJ. I was born in Chicago, Illinois. So that's actually not from Chicago, that's in Georgia. But these two pictures were me in Chicago. Was born there, moved to Indianapolis when I was 6 months old, I think. And then I've been here to Georgia ever since. So, as a little kid, I was a very excited little being. I wanted to do everything. I know my parents were like, they knew that I wanted to be whatever, right? Like, by far one of the craziest kids you could think of. And so, growing up, I had my dad. My dad has been one of the biggest mentors for me growing up. I relate everything to him. I think, and that leads me to my next topic, find your motivation. I think my dad has been by far one of the reasons why I do everything I do. Little side story. My dad moved here when he was 30 years old, and he is from Peru. And one of the reasons why he moved here was to give me and my family a better life. And so I take that with everything I do in my heart. I think every time I think of, why I'm here, like what's my reason for doing the things that I do, I always relate back to him because the sacrifice that he's done, he didn't want me to live in Peru. He wanted to escape that. And so just understanding that he was one of the biggest role models that I could have had makes me understand what my motivation is and why I do the things that I do. And so I'm very happy that he has been a role model for me my entire life. I went to UGA. So he was one of the biggest motivators on me going to college. I think that was by far one of the things that he always motivated me to do. He went to, it's not really considered university in Peru, but he wanted this for me. He knew that education was a big thing to give you the most opportunities as possible. And so he emphasized it a lot. And I knew, this is my first time here actually at UGA. By the way, I thought MLC was some crazy ass building. So I was like, basically, that's me outside of the stadium. The reason why they're a little small is because I look chalk in that picture. But anyways, I knew this was my place. I always dreamed of having something like this, which gives me to my next phase, which was Publix. Publix was...
Wait, the four?
That's me. I wanted to be a Fantastic Four when I was little. Taha, yeah. You see this. But basically, Publix was the first time I ever felt like myself. And I'll give some more context to that. My dad was very strict as a kid, my dad was very strict on me as a kid. I wasn't allowed to go out at all. I think the first time I was ever able to finally hang out with my friends was at the age of 17 when he not like outside, like where I could stay at someone else's house. But he was very strict. He wanted to know like, hey, like who is this? Who's the dad? Like who's the mom? Where are they? Like where are you going? Like very, very strict. But I didn't blame him. I understood why he did it. And that's because in Peru you don't really let your kids go out and do whatever they want because it's very dangerous. And so I grew up in a strict household. I wasn't allowed to have the relationships that I wanted because it kind of discouraged me to go out and hang out with people because I knew that I was gonna have to ask, hey, like, who are your parents? Like, where do you live? Like, stuff like that. I was like, I don't want to ask that to hang out with you. I'm just gonna go to the mall. But Publix was that one time where I could like truly like just talk to everyone, right? Like I had customers going on. Just talking to them, I'm like low-key gassing up Publix for no reason. I loved it. I felt like that was one of those things where I was like, oh shit, like I really like, just talking to people. But yeah, that was me.
Find your bubble.
That's such a cringy picture. But yeah, so everything has its time, right? So I dreamed of having those relationships, right? I like, oh, I want to be that guy, like that just goes out and hangs out with people. But I didn't have that growing up, and so I knew college was going to be that one time where I truly would have that opportunity. And so That's me. I did a Thrive summer program. That's my first day of school. But that was me during Thrive. When I came here, I felt like a completely different person. Like, I kid you not, I felt like I was just like, holy shit, like, this is me. Like, I went into my first classroom, and I remember this vividly because I think this one interaction that I had in my class truly like changed my whole scope of my life. But I went into public speaking, and it was the first day of class, and we all had to introduce each other. You had to say your name, major, and a fun fact, and why you went to UGA. So everyone's introducing themselves, and I go. It's like I'm the last one. I go, it's JJ. I'm a political science major. I don't know what my fun fact was, but the reason why I went to UGA, this is like a bit. I went to UGA because there are 81 bars in Athens, and I kid you not, like I make the teacher laugh, and I make like the person next to me laugh. I'm like, oh, you're funny. I'm not gonna. I don't know. It like sparks some sort of like confidence in me. I don't know why. But that was just like me. I was just bidding the entire like Thrive community. And so I just like, I don't know. I felt like that one interaction I had just like sparked the rest of the dynamic I was gonna have for the rest of the month. And so yeah, and then that's me. I don't know what that says, Carly. Oh yeah, that was the orientation leader that gave it to me. But yeah, and so yeah, this was my smaller group last year. This community was the one thing that I was like, dude, like I love SGA. Christian was one of my PLs alongside my team. They were the reason why I felt like I was like so welcome. I think SGA Connect in general was one of those things. Because like I said, I didn't have that growing up, and so this SGA experience in general was one of those things where I truly felt like I had a community. Every single small group meeting, like that one right there was Andy's, and just not my small group, but in general. I remember Sanjana, that's Danielle, there's Samir, familiar faces. Obviously the GoPro. But basically, I really enjoyed this year. I think that was one thing that I truly felt like I was finding myself. Finding a community, because it was one of those things where I met every single Monday, and I was just constantly seeing my peers and my peer leaders, my CDs, and so I kind of credit that for being one of the reasons why I felt so welcome. And then, yeah, so I guess to my next point, mentality is everything. So I wasn't the best all the time mentally, and that was kind of the first time where I truly was like, whoa, like I think Nico mentioned it earlier, I wasn't. Like, I never grew up with mental health being something that was taught in my household. My dad doesn't really look at it as something serious, but like I said, I don't blame him. It wasn't talks that he had growing up. And so obviously it wasn't something that I had growing up. And when I got here, I knew that I wasn't at my A game all the time. There were days where I seriously was not, I was at my deep lows. And for me, that was something that it was hard to navigate because I didn't really know who to reach out to. It was kind of something that I just hid to myself, and I didn't really want anyone to be affected by it, so I just didn't talk about it at all. But I really appreciated just the way I was able to like navigate that. I went to Student Care and Outreach. I think they helped me out a ton. Like, if anyone has if you're struggling with anything, please like reach out, because that's something that I was scared of, and I think that was one of the main reasons why I was able to come back. But yeah, mentality is everything. So I realized that gratitude was something that I think has always been instilled in me, but I truly felt like I was kind of getting to a point where I wasn't being grateful of the things that I already had. I learned this in ILA, and Samir will attest to this, but Dr. Kachi, one of our professors, was talking about how we have more blessings than the actual challenges that we have. And Grace as well. Sorry, I don't know why I didn't mention it, but that's something that really stuck with me because I felt like I did that a lot freshman year. I feel like I was focusing on the things that I didn't have. For example, I really wanted to get into Greek life, and I wrestled fraternity. Couldn't do it because of financial reasons, but throughout that entire semester, I was like, I really wish I could have done this. But I wasn't being grateful for the things I did have. For example, I don't think I would have got into SGA. Like, I actually don't think I would have been involved. And so I think just focusing on the things that I had instead of the things I didn't have was something that was key to me. And so I think gratitude is a big thing. I think you really get to appreciate life more, seeing the things that are given to you for just being in here. education in general was just a big opportunity. So just focusing on the things that I had was very big. So I went to Scotland, Peru this summer. That was one of those things, it was a very eye-opening experience because I've been here my entire life. I met my family for the first time, which was incredible. That's my mom's side of the family. But this was very eye-opening to me because I've always been here in the US and I never had sort of these experiences. And especially being in Peru, I think that's the one thing that I want to focus on right now. I realized how fortunate I was, and I think that's something that I kind of want to emphasize to you guys. I seriously don't think I realized how much of an opportunity it is to even be here in the United States. Staying over at my family's house, it was like a reality check. I was like, they don't have water 24/7. They only have water at certain times of the day. The roads, like, they're not finished, and so that was very eye-opening to me because I just didn't realize that those were things that I had, and you don't have those experiences until you go and see it firsthand. So that goes back to the mentality thing. I think after I came back, especially after visiting Istanbul as well, I don't have a picture of Istanbul here, but I kind of talked to this guy saying that like he makes like $1 an hour, and he still lives with his parents, and he's 28, and that for me was like, holy, like I really had it so nice, and it just changed my mentality and everything. I was way more appreciative when I came back. It was one of those things where these experiences really allowed to hone in on why my dad did the things that he did, and making me just be here. And so that's one of those experiences. And also on the positive side, like Scotland was beautiful. Machu Picchu as well. That's my go. But yeah. And then that's me at the White House.
Come on.
That's also not the White House. Y'all like that? Basically, I just included this because I think this is where I kind of realized that I could make a change. That sounds so corny. I don't know. I think just being here, really, I think the people I met and every person I talked to, they saw a vision in me, and I think I don't know. Something about just the way I presented myself and the things that I wanted to accomplish. I think one thing, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but the reason why I was here, I gave a speech to talk about encouraging more young Hispanics to continue their education. I think something that I didn't realize was there's not a lot of opportunities given to people in my minority as well, because of finances, and college is an opportunity. No one gets that, or not a lot of people get that. And so I think for me, that one thing of just making sure that I can give back to others that were not less fortunate in this lifetime, something that I realized, and yeah, it's a picture of me. Yeah, and then orientation. So this day was like one of the most, I want to say it was like peak of the semester. I realized how much of an opportunity it was to get back to what it was meant to be. My orientation leader, Sophie Gold, she did her best to make me feel welcome. Blake, as well, she had Sophie Gold as well. But during Thrive, we always saw each other because I was in the summer doing my program, and she was in the summer doing her orientation. And one thing that she did was introduce me to all the other orientation leaders and just like involve me as much as possible. Obo was actually one of the reasons why I did student government. He's the person that told me about it, and I credit everything to what my orientation leaders did. And so, if I can give back to what was given to me, and if I can give back to you what was given to me, I think that's something that I don't know if it's like a loop or anything, but I want to like make sure that what I can give to you is something that you guys can give back to others for the next freshmen that come up, because it is kind of like a cycle. What Oba did to me, now I can do to other people, and what I can do to you and for the other PLs as well can do to you, can give back. And it's like a cycle. You don't realize it, but Christian, you were like one of those people that like impacted me my freshman year. Sanjana as well. Like I'm glazing right now, but it's
Right.
but it's
He's a
like
glazer.
I can give back to what you guys gave to me, And so if you guys just realize the importance of how much those relationships really mean, yeah, life will be better. And yeah, so I'm so blessed to have this community of people. These are pictures from last year and this year. And I value every single
Yeah,
relationship
that's
I
what I
have
was gonna
because
say.
whatever has been given to me, I can give back to these people. I think this is something, I think just relationships in general have been something that have made me grow a lot. I think offering different perspectives from people and just learning more about what life can give to just myself. It's just been an amazing experience. And so I'm very thankful for everyone in this slide. And I'm thankful for you guys. Don't worry. You're my small group. But that means you as well. I don't want to exclude my small group because you guys all have been amazing. This program has given me so much. I've learned so much throughout all of you. I hope that I can give back to what was given to me, but I hope you guys can give back to what the next freshman of people can get, because this program can truly, truly change your life, just like it did to me. I've learned so much through all my peers, and I seriously appreciate every single conversation I've had, because it's not something that I had growing up, and I think that's one thing that I just am so fortunate to have, and it goes back to the mentality thing. I'm so grateful, and I think everything that has happened to me has happened for a reason. Whether it was not having that as a kid, I now can have that, and I think everything has its time. And so wherever you are in life, I just want you to realize that it's happening for a reason, right? Not negative things aren't happening just because they're negative. They're happening because they're trying to get something out of you, whether it's a hardship or a struggle that you're going through. It's happening for a reason, you know what I mean? And so life is not always going to be like this. It's going to be like this. So, yeah, and then, so no matter where you are in life, it's happening for a reason. And there's my Blake side.
Yeah!
I promise one more. Lakewood Park. And I'm sorry that I chose this picture.
Yeah, that's like not a great one, but
Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's all.